This story comes to us from WTOP.com. Out of Washington, D.C., a retired District of Columbia Police Lieutenant Jesse Porter Jr. pleaded guilty in D.C. Superior Court to killing a woman during an August 4th, 2022 training exercise for library officers at Anacostia Library. Library officers. What the hell do you need a library officer for? I mean, what kind of maybe is it the Congressional Library? Because, hey, don't steal that book. Put that book down. Porter was charged with second-degree murder while armed, unlawful discharge, and possession of a firearm during a crime of violence or dangerous offense in the death of his trainee, 25-year-old Marika Mannion. He was conducting the training as a private contractor, so not as a police officer. Under the terms of his plea agreement, Porter pleaded down to involuntary manslaughter while armed and unlawful discharge of a firearm. Of course, he pleaded it down. Now, involuntary manslaughter while armed carries a maximum sentence of 30 years in prison. The maximum penalty for unlawful discharge of a firearm is 1 year behind bars. The judge will consider much lighter sentencing recommendations in the plea agreement during the August 25th sentencing hearing, that's this year. The judge can impose any sentence up to the maximum, and that's true. You could take a plea deal, you get in there and the judge go, you know what? Family members of Mannion said during Friday's court hearing they're disappointed with the plea deal and that D.C. prosecutors did not adequately involve them in the process. Prosecution denied the family's accusations. It goes down a little farther. Let's look here. The family is horrified at the fact that they've been kept in the dark by the prosecution throughout the process, according to family attorney Chelsea Lewis. She said their rights have been completely ignored. They have been left feeling as if Jesse Porter's rights held more weight than their own, because he's a retired D.C. cop. Porter will not be held in jail ahead of the next hearing in August for his sentencing, despite requests from prosecutors and Mannion's family, who also said the city of D.C. is partly to blame for her death. Porter's company, he's a private contractor, did not have insurance at the time these events took place. And Attorney Lewis said after Porter's initial court hearing in May, the fact that the District of Columbia wouldn't even take the time to make sure that someone who was training their own employees had insurance. That's something that should be investigated. That's something that should be looked into. And that's something that should have never happened. And of course, they're going to bring civil litigation. They're going to sue the city, as they should.